Welcome to another reaction video here at Cerebral Gaming. Today we're looking at the head of Axios raging at Elon Musk for helping speedrun the media's journey into irrelevancy. The channel I'm watching the video on is Memology 101, a fantastic page. I've been following Memology for, I believe, quite some time. I think from the first time that it really got into trending, and the memes are on point, and a lot of the things that he posts are unedited, so you can see the craziness of the world unedited. Axios is a news organization. They've got quite a big budget news organization. I believe it's the same company as HBO. So is that AT&T? I'm not quite sure about that. But Axios is it's a bit like the Guardian newspaper. They have this facade of looking like they are some kind of objective journalists, but really they're also far leftist nut jobs. In fact, and you got to understand their ego is so much that in the 2020 elections, they actually posted a video where they interviewed the people behind the election machines, and the people quite literally on camera confessed that the results we might be seeing are manipulated. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. You can check that out for yourself. And that's really the whole thing. A lot of people say you're making conspiracies, but it's a bit hard to think of it as a conspiracy when people sort of confess on camera. Well, so let's watch the head of Axios rage at Elon Musk. This should be fun. 2024 Fourth Estate Award Gala. Is it gala or gala? I'm not quite sure sometimes.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media. You.
Can you see the way this person acts? He doesn't have an ounce of professionalism. And you also have to understand something. Because they finally realize they don't have control over the narrative as much as they should have, to allow for a certain party to win certain elections, they are seething with anger and rage. Their egos have been hurt because social media, especially Twitter, gave them so much power that they felt that they're untouchable now. That's why you see the hate. You see the anger. It's a power trip for them. It's usually a power trip for a lot of far leftists. There was actually a study then that found that a lot of people who actually support far leftists, well, they found that narcissists are more likely to support far leftist movements. So that's something to bear in mind.
You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bull. You're not the media. You having...
Look at that. Look at all the losers at this dinner. Oh no! You cannot undermine us. We are the gods of information. We are the elite of the elite. How dare you question what we tell you? What we say is right.
You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter any more.
Very ironic, because a lot of leftist propaganda and a lot of this Marxist crap that's pushed on social media, pushed on X, was actually pushed by a lot of these left-wing internet journalists. And this idiot had no problem when that was going on. Absolutely no issue with that. You see, this is what's happening right now with the blue sky thing. You got all these people running away to blue sky, talking about how Twitter/X has now become some kind of right-wing hotbed. That's not true. And what's interesting is they are allowed to share their opinion on X. So they're not going to blue sky because they cannot share their opinion or they cannot share their narrative. They're more offended by the fact that people can now openly call them out on their lies, on their deception. That's what irks them so much. It's not like back in the day. Remember when the Hunter Biden files were coming out? And these media people felt, well, this could be a quote-unquote threat to our democracy. They didn't complain when Twitter was actively censoring the opposite viewpoints, actively censoring truth that challenged their narrative. Now Twitter does very little of censoring. And a lot of fact-checking is actually done by the readers themselves.
More than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? Like what we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East.
Al Jazeera, ladies and gents, you heard it. Al Jazeera, the Qatar propaganda channel. Al Jazeera is also one of these news channels. It's quite clever right now. They've got a very good budget. And if you go to Al Jazeera, I will give them props. You can see some really good documentaries on there. Nature documentaries. Sometimes they go to far reaches of places. Their documentary department, fantastic. But they have been even called out by their fellow Arabian countries, such as Saudi Arabia, for being at the forefront of spreading a lot of propaganda. The fact this guy says it with a straight face to you. But interestingly, if you look at his eyes right now, you can tell from his eyes. He knows he's in the business of lying. Look at those eyes. He knows it's in the business of deceiving you.
You don't proclaim yourself to be a reporter. Like, that's nonsense. Like, being a reporter's hard. Really hard.
It's really hard, is it? That's true. Such as all the reporters that get attacked, that get abused, when they try to cover some of these left-wing protests, they get attacked by protesters just because you and the machine have hammered into the heads of the easily persuaded that these reporters are right-wing nut jobs. That's what it is. You want to talk about reporting being hard? It's hard for those people. Many of whom who are literally just trying to give an objective perspective. It happens in Britain, by the way. You've got a lot of your people like, say Tommy Robinson. Say whatever he said back in the past. If you look at a lot of things he's covered and exposed, see how he's attacked on the streets, and this so-called these giants of media don't come out in defense of him. Instead, they use that and turn it around somehow and manipulate people into thinking that somehow guys like him asked for it. You guys are just a bunch of narcissistic, self-serving, elitist snobs.
You have to care. You have to do the hard work. You have to get up every single day and say, I want to get to the closest approximation of the truth without...
The closest approximation to the truth. I don't think he understands what he's just said. Not give you the truth, the whole truth, and let you make your own decision. No. We'll give you an approximation of it. You know what they say about half-truths? And that's one of the ways they get you. That's one of the ways in which they manipulate you. You see, think about this. Is there racism in America? Yes. Why not? There's racism in every country in the world. In fact, some might even argue there's something almost natural about it because we as human beings are tribal people. When we don't understand somebody or when there's somebody new, especially something that's visibly different from us, we might act differently to them. Obviously, that does not justify any wrongdoings. But yes, it does exist. But then you have people like these who say, well, racism exists. You know what we can do? We can just twist the knob in this direction a little bit, just a bit, you know? So we're still close to the truth. But we can use this to cause panic, manipulate people into thinking that things are worse than they have ever been. Are you going to really tell me that America is more racist now than it ever was? After slavery, after Jim Crow, after the fact that you had to fight for your rights in the 1960s, are you really going to say that America is worse now? No, objectively it's not. But you know, racism exists, so you know, it's close to the truth, isn't it? Because there's racism. Don't fall for this bullcrap, people. Don't fall for these idiots.
Without any fear, without any favoritism. You don't do that by
without any favoritism. Don't even try to give me that. There is no way in hell you can objectively look at American news or news in general, which is all mostly owned by the same companies. A lot of these people sort of worship one particular company. It's like NPR, I can't really remember. They're all branches of it. Don't give me this crap about you don't have favorites. We've all seen how you treated Donald Trump and his supporters in the last 8 years. You literally have kids brainwashed right now who assume that somebody if somebody's right-wing or somebody's conservative, they're just evil by default. Kids are being manipulated by people such as this, these so-called journalists, who rather unfortunately got a lot of power.
Popping off on Twitter.
Well, that was a reaction to head of Axios raging at Elon Musk. You know what? I'm going to check out some comments though. Comments really cheer me up when I'm angry. I get angry very easily. Right. They took our jobs. Certified took our jobs moment. Start being reporters and stop being activists and this wouldn't happen. 100% true. They ran themselves into irrelevance by lying, gaslighting, and censoring. That is so true. Without any favoritism, picked on that. Can't believe he said that with a straight face, literally word to word what I said. Never got this speech before the Twitter purchase. The smell of desperation is strong. It is strong with this one. You're not the media, neither was Zuckerberg, but that was okay in 2020, wasn't it? Exactly. We can't have one man controlling all of the media. That's our job. Closest approximation of the truth, all I needed to hear. Glad to hear I'm not the only one who picked up on that one. And of course, last ones. They think they're an exclusive club. Anyone can be a journalist as long as you do the job right. 100% true. Well, thanks for watching the reaction. We will see you next time on Tenebral Gaming. Don't forget to check out some of the live streams I've been doing. Started to play Star Wars. Should be fun. And don't forget to help me out at buymeacoffee.com/Tenebral. Peace, bless you, and do suggest any videos you would like me to react to in the comments below.